Steve, can we get your thoughts first of all on your new signing, Danny Rose, who arrived yesterday? You described him as a class act last week. How pleased are you to get him in?
Well, look, he's playing for England in the World Cup qualifier in September and playing in the European Cup final a couple of months before that. So we're delighted to get him. He's a top player, the kid, and is arguably a good left back in England. That's why he plays for the national team and played for them so well. So to get somebody that quality, we're delighted to get him. And I think the big thing of moving up north suited him, which makes a rare change, I have to tell you. But it was good to get him through the door.
He spoke to the club yesterday and said the chippies up here are better.
Well, look, he's a northern lad, and he's from Leeds, isn't he? So little things like that are a bit of an advantage to him. But you know, it didn't take much persuading. I think I reminded him of the crowd last week against Oxford, you know, and he knows he's walking into a big football club with a huge fan base and somewhere where he can come and enjoy himself, hopefully for a 3-4 months, and we'll see where that takes us in the summer.
It sounded as though he played a part in it as well. He was keen before even any approach was...
I think he was keen. Yeah, I mean, look, he was keen. I think, you know, whatever's happened at Tottenham has happened, and he needs to have a fresh challenge. And obviously, with the problems that we've had to Dummett and with problems that we've had to Jetro, who was operated on yesterday, then to get a quality player like himself, then that can only help us.
And you just touched on it just a moment ago about the summer. Is this a straight loan, or is it an option?
There's a straight loan, to be fair. All the details on top of that you're going to have to ask somebody else. But look, as far as I'm concerned, he's here till the summer, and if he does well, and we've got a possibility to try and make it permanently, then we'll act in the summer.
Yeah, and Jetro, who you mentioned a moment ago as well, obviously he impressed you.
Yeah.
Could you yet come back into trying?
Well, we've got to wish him. We've got to make sure that he obviously has had his operation and his rehabilitation's good, and we'll have a look and see where we are in the summer with it. You know, I think he impressed us all. He found it difficult to start with, like most people did, but he turned into a very, very good player for us. So we'll have a look at it and see where he is.
What is your feelings on the work you've done in the window as a whole?
Well, very quietly, we've gone about it in the right way, and I think the 3 players that we've brought in have brought that little bit of quality to the squad. And that's what I was always trying to do. You know, whether we'll do anything more today, I doubt. So, you know, I'm delighted with what we've done, and there's 1 or 2 that we tried for and couldn't quite get, but it's not always the case. And I've always said that if we can't get the right one, then we'll wait and keep our powder dry and wait for the summer until obviously the market is far, far easier than it is for all of us. For all of us in this crazy 4 weeks.
I think probably the one question mark that remains is over the striking position.
Yeah.
Are you content with what you've got?
Yeah, I mean, look, I started off the season with what we've got. And I know in 2 weeks, probably for the Arsenal game, we'll have Andy Carroll, Dwight York and Mutu all available. So in this particular window, I always said that if there's somebody out there that is better than what we've got and can improve us, then we'll try and act. And like everybody, I think every club is looking for a striker. And unfortunately there isn't any to have what you can get. And I think that's pretty evident for everybody.
Do you understand why some of the fans are concerned about that? Because between the 3 that you mentioned, there only is 1 league goal, and both Carroll and Gale have had a lot.
I think if you look through a whole front line, you can level that at us all. You know, that we haven't scored enough at the top end of the pitch. We understand that, but you know that's been the case since the beginning of August. Yeah. So, you know, as I said to you, I don't think those out there, somebody realistically that would make us any better. So if I couldn't get what I'm getting, and they're not better than what we've got, then what's the point? Yeah. And I think that's key to it all.
I think you just said in the radio half an hour ago that you failed for
I think I told you that. I think I told you that 2-3 weeks ago, and look, you know, I hate to talk about other players, but it's somebody who we did inquire about, and it was not possible.
I mean, that, I suppose it shows ambition of the club that you're even looking for someone like that, like Giroud.
We had a bid accepted, which would have nearly got to a transfer window. With record transfer 8 days ago, where we had it accepted by the club, and unfortunately the player wanted to stay where he was. So, you know, we were active, we were really, really active, and it didn't quite happen. So, as I said to you, we'll just have to wait and see what we can do in the summer.
Was that for Giroud or for someone else?
For someone else.
Yeah. So I mean, that shows that it wasn't just loans that the club were looking for.
No. We were actively, as I said, we got past the club and had the bid accepted, but unfortunately, the player wanted to stay where he was, so you have to accept that.
Can you tell us who it was?
No. I cannot. No, I can't. No, I know it's up to you to find out. Which is his go to work on it now, I suppose.
Yeah. But the club broke their transfer record last January. Smashed it again in the summer.
Yeah. And we were close to it again.
Yeah.
We were close to it again, but couldn't get it over the line, which is a big disappointment for us. He was our #1 target, and unfortunately, we couldn't do it.
What position was he?
He was a midfield player.
Right, we're getting there. How old is it now? I'll let the guys move on.
Steve, for you, is it almost a relief that we're on January 31st and you can 100% focused on the football again?
Do you know, for me, the whole thing for the last 6 weeks has been the most difficult, not just because the transfer window, with the amount of injuries, the team and what we've got and what we've had to get and what we've done. I couldn't be more delighted with the effort of all of the players, to be fair, to pick up the points that we have done in real difficult circumstances. You know, we're still without 8 or 9, but in the next couple of weeks, hopefully, we'll get a few back.
Can you just give us an update on who Newcastle are still missing?
Well, the 3 strikers are missing for tomorrow: Dwight, Mutu, and Gale. So they are the ones, really. I mean, we've got 1 or 2 knocks to everybody else. We know that Dummett and Jetro out for the rest of the season. So the 3 new lads is essential that they've come into the squad, and they'll have a big part to play over the next 3-4 months.
Just on there, Danny, are we likely to see him make his debut tomorrow?
He'll be involved. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. He walked through the door yesterday, but he'll certainly be involved.
How much of a point do you think that he has to prove here at Newcastle?
I don't think he has to make a point on his ability. As I said, he was playing for England in September, playing the World Cup qualifier, and playing the European Cup final in June, July, was it? And I thought he was Tottenham's best player that day. But I suppose I would say that. Look, he's a very, very good player, and he's always plays with a little bit of hunger in his belly. I think that's what's made him the player he is. He's a determined individual, and that's good in a player. So we're delighted to get him.
Just in terms of today, is it pretty much just finished in terms of incomings completely? Or
well, you can never write anything. You can never write anything off, but I would think so. I think I'll be in my bed for 10 o'clock.
Just on the other 2 arrivals, Bentham and Lazara, how well have they settled in?
Yeah, they've had a good week's training, which always helps. I mean, look, it's always difficult to move to a different country, to a different club, and it's enabled us for them to train all week, which is good. So they'll be involved tomorrow too. So we're delighted what we've done. I think the 3 bits of business have been very, very good. They've brought a little bit of certain quality to the team, which was always going to be the mantra if I could.
You were pretty disappointed, frustrated, whatever adjective you want to use after that Oxford game. Have you seen a major reaction from the players this week?
Look, I don't have to tell them that we didn't play well enough on the day, and to be fair to Oxford, they were excellent. They played to their maximum, and we got nowhere near where we're capable of. So we'll address it again on Tuesday. We'll get ready for Norwich tomorrow, which is a big game, and get our attention focused to that, because if we can win it, then that would put us in a really, really strong position.
I suppose a similar sort of performance against Norwich tomorrow as of last week, it's not going to get you far against Norwich, is it?
Norwich are a good team. They're a good football team, and they played really well in the Championship and haven't changed their style. So we know that they're going to be good to watch. They're excellent in their forward play. So it'll be a difficult game. We have to make sure that we play to our maximum again and get the result.
Do you feel like they've been a little bit unlucky at times this season? You mentioned the style of football that they've played. They've surprised a few times.
Well, I've just analysed over the last 4, 5, 6 games and watched them all week. And they've been very unlucky. You're right. They're a good side, they were in the Championship, and even though they're bottom of the pile at the minute, they're a good side, and they've had some good results, so they're capable, like every other team is.
Just a final one on the table. Obviously the main priority at the start of the season was to stay up again.
Yeah.
What do you think it's going to take to stay up this season in terms of points? Because it's so competitive down there now.
Well, everybody talks about the 40 points. That's the first thing that everybody talks about, but usually 36, 37. It'll be interesting to look at the statistics. I haven't really studied them just yet, but that magical 40 points one is always something which you aspire to, and that's not just ourselves. I'm sure there's 10, 12 teams, you know, looking at that before you have anything, and that's the main aim, of course.
Thanks, Steve.
Steve, obviously your priority is what goes on here and you're expecting a quiet day, but how much attention will you be paying to the teams around you as to who they might get and how that might affect the rest of the season?
I think you can only concentrate on yourself. Of course, you're always going to be, we have the thing rolling like every other club, and but look, I'll speak for all of us. I know how difficult it is, really, really difficult, and it borders on ludicrous at times. So the one thing we haven't done is panicked into what we wanted to get. If you had said 2 weeks ago, would have thought about bringing in a left back or left wing back, I would have said no. But it became a bit of a priority with the problems we had there. So we've acted in the right way. We'd love to have brought another forward player into the club, but that's not been possible. And but I've always said it's always about bringing a bit of quality in and improving us, and that's the only way I'll act. And if I have to keep me powder dry until the summer, then I'll do that.
Just another word on injuries. How's Shelby doing?
Shelby will be probably another 2-3 weeks from the initial diagnosis after being injured against Chelsea. Then we expected him between 4 and 5 weeks, so he's going to be about that time scale.
And Sam Maximan, he's had another week training.
Yeah.
I mean, is he looking sharp? Is he looking better?
Well, the more he trains, Alan, and he's had 2 unfortunate hamstring injuries, so I think when you've had 1 or 2 like he has had over his career with the way he plays, then the more he trains, the more confident he gets, and the quicker he gets. So we've seen that little bit of pace this week, which is good to see.
And just finally, you talked about beating Norwich, getting to 33 points. That we don't know what that magic total will be just yet, but that one big step closer.
Yeah.
At this stage, 30 points. Is that whereabouts you thought the team would be?
Well, I hoped to be level on points with Arsenal at 10th, and it was something that you would hope for. So it's been a struggle over the last few weeks, but I think we've only lost 1 in the last 7 games with all the struggles we've had. So fair play to the team and the squad of players that we've got. They roll up the sleeves and they have a go. And yes, we don't play well at times like we did last week against Oxford, but the way they go about their work, you can only say well done to them. I know a big game tomorrow, they'll get ready for that challenge.
Thank you.
Steve, away from transfers, there's been another big story dominated the headlines this week. Have you heard any more about a proposed takeover?
I thought you were going to talk about Brexit. We leave the EU tomorrow. I don't get involved with all that, it's for other people to worry about and used to write and talk about it. I just concentrate on what I can do and what I can affect. It has an unsettling effect on everybody, of course. I wouldn't lie then, but we're somehow getting used to it. So all I'm concentrating on is tomorrow, the game tomorrow, and certainly the players are as well as myself.
I know you've said in the past that you don't have a lot of dealings with the owner. You maybe see him, quite infrequently, but Lee Charnley is your sort of bridge between.
I think he'll tell me if there was something to talk about and something to tell me. He'll tell me, and I have a relationship with him, which I'm sure he would. At the moment, all he said, there's nothing in it. Okay, fine, let's go to work and let's see where we are.
Steve, can I ask you one more before you?
Yeah.
Outgoings. Can we see anyone potentially leave today?
Maybe 1 or 2. I'm not going to give you names just yet, though.
Names all day.
No, I'm not going to. Maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, but that is not like you're not expecting any of your main players.
No, there's a bit of work. There's a boy on. Something with Key that might be happening. That's the main one.
Yeah.
Whether something will break today, I'm not too quite sure.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Cheers, Steve. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.